What is up, Cruise fam? Welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, my name is Cruise Hacks, and this is the place where we talk everything cruising. No fluff, no filler, just honest takes from someone who has actually been on these ships. Now, today's video is one you have been asking me for all year long. I did this ranking last year and it absolutely blew up. So we are back, fully updated for 2026, ranking every single Carnival cruise ship from absolute worst to best. And I want to be clear about something before we dive in. Carnival right now has 29 ships in their fleet. 29. That is the largest fleet in Carnival's entire history, and some of these ships are wildly different from each other. We are talking a ship with a literal roller coaster on top versus a ship that was built before some of you were born. So how am I ranking these? I am looking at 5 things: the overall condition and age of the ship, the dining options and quality, the entertainment, the amenities and things to do, and the overall value for the price you pay. And yes, personal experience sailing these ships absolutely factors in too. One more thing, this ranking is for 2026. Ships get dry docks, ships get upgrades, ships change. I will flag any major recent changes along the way. Alright, let's get into it. We are starting at the bottom, and I want to say something important here. No Carnival ship is a bad cruise. You are still going to the Caribbean. You are still going to have fun. But in a fleet of 29 ships, some are just noticeably behind the others. And you deserve to know that before you book. Number 29. Carnival Elation. Coming in dead last is the Carnival Elation. Now, the Elation is a fantasy-class ship, which means she was built back in 1998. That is 28 years ago, folks. She is one of the oldest ships still sailing in the entire fleet. And honestly, it shows. Look, she has had upgrades over the years. The Fun Ship 2.0 stuff is on there, Guy's Burger Joint, the Blue Iguana Cantina. But when you compare the public spaces, the cabin size, and the overall vibe to what Carnival is building now, there is just no comparison. The Elation feels like a relic from a different era of cruising. She is sailing short Caribbean runs and Bahamas itineraries, so the price point is low. I will give her that. But if you can stretch your budget even a little, I would look at almost anything else on this list. Number 28, Carnival Paradise. Right alongside the Elation in last place is her sister ship, the Carnival Paradise. Same class, same age, same limitations. Fun fact about the Paradise, she was originally launched as a completely smoke-free ship back in 1998. That distinction is long gone, but the age hasn't gone anywhere. The Paradise does short cruises out of Tampa, which means the itineraries are convenient if you live in Florida. But she's the same vintage as the Elation, and the passenger experience reflects that. She lands at number 28. Number 27, Carnival Sunrise. Now this one is interesting. The Carnival Sunrise was originally the Carnival Destiny, the ship that in 1996 was literally the largest cruise ship in the world. She was a game changer. Then she went through a massive $200 million refurbishment in 2019 and came out as the Sunrise. And look, the Sunrise is a much better ship than the Elation or Paradise. She has got more modern amenities. She sails to some great itineraries out of New York and Norfolk. But even with that refit, she is working with a nearly 30-year-old hull. The spaces feel tighter, the layout feels dated, and you can tell the bones of this ship were from a different generation. Number 26, Carnival Sunshine. The Sunshine is another major refurbishment story. She used to be the Carnival Destiny before the Sunrise took that name. I know it gets confusing. And she went through a $155 million transformation back in 2013. That was actually one of the most expensive ship refurbishments Carnival has ever done. She has a really solid dining lineup: the Asian Kitchen, Bonsai Sushi, Guy's Burger Joint, and she sails some great itineraries out of Charleston and the Caribbean. But she is sailing with 2013 upgrades on a hull from the 1990s, and compared to Carnival's newer builds, she just doesn't hold up. She lands at 26. Number 25, Carnival Encounter. Now here is a ship that is brand new to the Carnival brand, but not new to the seas. The Carnival Encounter, much along with her sister ship, the Carnival Adventure, joined the fleet in 2025 after Carnival Corporation shut down P&O Cruises Australia. These ships were designed for the Australian market, and honestly, they show it. The Encounter has some interesting venues: Angelo's for Italian food, Dragon Lady for Asian cuisine, the Bonded Store Speakeasy Bar, and she is currently based in Australia. But she was built in 2009 for a completely different market, and the Carnival transition is still a work in progress. She is serviceable, but she is not a reason to book Carnival. Number 24, Carnival Adventure. Same story as the Encounter. The Carnival Adventure is her sister ship, also transferred from P&O Australia in 2025, also sailing out of Australia. Nearly identical experience. She lands at 24, a hair above the Encounter, just based on slightly more favorable passenger reviews from her early Carnival sailings. Both of these ships are fine if you are cruising Australia, but they would rank considerably higher if Carnival puts more investment into them. Keep an eye on these two. They have potential. Okay, we are moving up the list now. These next ships are genuinely good Carnival experiences. They are not going to blow your mind with the latest bells and whistles, but they are tried, tested, and beloved by a lot of loyal Carnival cruisers. Number 23, Carnival Luminosa. The Carnival Luminosa was originally a Costa ship, and she came over to the Carnival brand in 2022. She sails in Australia seasonally, and she has got a really interesting design. She feels a bit more European than your typical Carnival ship, which can actually be a cool thing. She has the Carnival Classics, Guy's Burger Joint, Blue Iguana Cantina, layered on top of that Costa Bones. She is a mid-sized ship that does a nice job for Australian itineraries and Pacific cruises. Lands at 23. Number 22, Carnival Legend. Now we are getting into the Spirit class ships, and I have a genuine soft spot for these. The Carnival Legend is one of 4 Spirit class ships, and she is sailing Alaska right now, which is actually one of the best things this ship has going for her. Here is the thing about Alaska. You do not need a mega ship. You do not need a roller coaster. You need a ship that can navigate those narrow passages through Glacier Bay, that feels intimate, that keeps you focused on what is happening outside the window. The Legend is perfect for that. She got a solid round of Fun Ship 2.0 upgrades, has a good dining lineup for her size, and the Alaska itineraries are genuinely stunning. If Alaska is on your bucket list, the Legend is worth a serious look. Number 21, Carnival Miracle. Another Spirit class ship, another solid mid-tier entry. The Carnival Miracle has been around since 2004, and she is a consistent performer. She has got the Heroes Tribute Bar, which I actually love as a concept, honoring first responders and military, and she does a nice mix of Caribbean and longer itineraries. She is not glamorous. She is not going to impress you on paper, but she is a reliable, comfortable ship at a price point that often undercuts a lot of her newer fleet mates. Number 20, Carnival Pride. The Carnival Pride is the Spirit-class ship that sails out of Baltimore, and she has one of the most loyal passenger bases of any Carnival ship. Baltimore cruisers are fiercely devoted to the Pride, and I get it. She is a great ship for the East Coast market. She just completed a 22-day dry dock in April 2026, which means she is fresh and updated right now. That bumps her up a bit on this list. The Baltimore departure is also a huge plus for anyone in the Mid-Atlantic region. You can drive to your cruise ship, which is genuinely great. Number 19, Carnival Spirit. The original Spirit-class ship and the oldest of the 4, the Carnival Spirit sails out of Seattle for Alaska in the summer and does other itineraries the rest of the year. She is the oldest of her class, but she has aged pretty gracefully. Like the Legend, the Alaska itineraries are a huge selling point for the Spirit. The ship feels right-sized for those waters, and the scenery does a lot of the heavy lifting. A solid 19th place. Number 18, Carnival Splendor. The Carnival Splendor is the ship that made global headlines back in 2010 when she had that catastrophic engine fire in the Pacific, the poop cruise before the poop cruise. She was stranded for days with no power. Now look, that was 16 years ago. The ship has been fully repaired, refurbished, and she has been sailing perfectly well ever since. She is now based in Australia year-round, and she has a good lineup of amenities for a ship her age. She has shaken the jinx. Number 18. This is where the list gets really interesting. These ships are legitimately excellent. Great amenities, modern feeling, and they are doing things that most other cruise lines cannot match at these price points. Number 17. Carnival Conquest. The Carnival Conquest was the ship that kicked off the entire Conquest class. 4 ships that were game changers for Carnival when they launched in the early 2000s. She is an art-themed ship, which gives her a cool personality that a lot of ships lack. She has got the full Fun Ship 2.0 treatment, a solid dining lineup, and she consistently earns strong reviews for passenger satisfaction. For a ship that is over 20 years old, she punches above her weight. Number 16, Carnival Glory. Carnival Glory is famous for 2 things. She is the colors ship with all the bright jewel-tone decor, and she is the ship that famously collided with Carnival Legend and Cozumel back in 2019. That was a wild news day in the cruise world. She went through a full refurbishment in 2022, which has her looking sharp, and she just completed another scheduled dry dock in early 2026. The refurb genuinely made a difference. Glory feels more modern than you would expect from a 2003 ship. Solid upper-mid entry at 16. Number 15, Carnival Valor. The Conquest class continues with the Carnival Valor, a military hero-themed ship that has been a consistent favorite for cruisers out of New Orleans. If you have never cruised from New Orleans, I cannot recommend it highly enough. The embarkation port alone is worth the trip. Valor is a great family ship. The theming works, the itineraries are fun, and she is well maintained. Number 14, Carnival Freedom. The newest of the Conquest class ships, and it shows. The Freedom consistently gets some of the best passenger reviews in the entire Conquest class. She sails Caribbean itineraries out of Port Canaveral, which is a great embarkation port, and she is simply a well-run, well-maintained ship. Conquest class ships do not get enough credit. They are the workhorses of the Carnival fleet, and the Freedom is the best of the bunch. Number 13, Carnival Dream. Now we are into the Dream class, and things get really interesting. The Carnival Dream was the first ship in her class when she launched in 2009, and she introduced a bunch of features that are now standard on Carnival ships. Big news for 2026. The Dream just returned from a 16-day dry dock in Marseille in April 2026. She is fresh off refurbishment as of this recording, which means if you are sailing her in late 2026 or 2027, you are getting a notably improved experience. She also has some Carnival Journeys itineraries planned, longer 9+ night cruises that give you more destinations. That is exciting. Number 12. Carnival Magic. The Dream's sister ship, and she is slightly larger and slightly more polished than the original Dream. The Carnival Magic has been a consistent top performer in terms of passenger satisfaction. She is well maintained, has great dining options including Fahrenheit 555 for your special occasion dinner, and she does Caribbean itineraries that hit some excellent ports. The Magic just feels like a ship that was built with some lessons learned from the Dream. Everything works a little smoother. Number 11. Carnival Breeze. The newest of the Dream-class ships and arguably the best. The Carnival Breeze launched in 2012 with even more refinements over the Magic and Dream, and she remains a top-tier mid-range Carnival experience. She has the full entertainment lineup, a skyride ropes course, a really good food scene, and she sails from Galveston, which is a great port city. If you are in the South and you want to step up from the older ships without paying XL-class prices, the Breeze is a fantastic choice. Number 10. Carnival Venezia. Okay, here's where the list gets really spicy. Coming in at number 10 is the Carnival Venezia, and this ship is genuinely fascinating. She was built in 2019 for Costa Cruises, came over to Carnival in 2023, and she kept her gorgeous Italian-inspired design. The Venice-themed atrium is absolutely stunning. It is unlike anything else in the Carnival fleet. She has Italian restaurants, beautiful architecture, a really distinctive aesthetic, and she is huge, now over 135,000 gross tons with capacity for over 4,000 passengers. But she also has the Festivale Casino, which US News calls the largest in the entire Carnival fleet. The Venezia feels like a premium product at Carnival prices. She is different enough from the standard Carnival experience to feel special, but she has all the Carnival classics you love layered on top. Number 10 is a compliment. She almost cracked the top 5. Number 9, Carnival Firenze. Everything I just said about the Venezia, apply it here. The Carnival Firenze is essentially her sister ship, also transferred from Costa Cruises, also gorgeous Italian design, also a fantastic experience. But the Firenze has one thing the Venezia doesn't. She is based on the West Coast, sailing out of Long Beach for Mexican Riviera itineraries. That is a huge deal. The West Coast cruise market has been underserved for years, and Firenze brings that premium Italian-inspired experience to California cruisers who did not have many options before. She sails with Carnival Panorama and Carnival Radiance out of Long Beach, making that one of the strongest homeport lineups in the fleet right now. Okay, folks, we have made it to the top tier. These are the ships that I think represent Carnival at its absolute best. The ships I would personally put my own family on without hesitation. Every ship in this section is excellent. Number 8, Carnival Horizon. The Carnival Horizon is the Vista-class ship that sails out of Miami and New York, and she is a gorgeous ship. Vista-class ships introduce so many features that are now standard across the fleet. The Sky Ride, the bike ride suspended above the ocean, is one of the most iconic things Carnival has ever put on a ship. The Horizon also has the Havana section, the adults-only pool area with a Cuban-inspired vibe that is genuinely one of the best pool experiences on any ship in this price category. She does Caribbean itineraries year-round and transatlantic crossings. A phenomenal ship. Number 7, Carnival Panorama. The Panorama is the Vista-class ship on the West Coast, and she swapped the IMAX theater found on some sister ships for something I actually think is cooler, a Sky Zone trampoline park on a cruise ship. That is insane, and I love it. She completed a major 24-day dry dock in Singapore in October 2024, got the full red, white, and blue Carnival hull makeover, and a brand new non-smoking casino. She is sailing out of Long Beach alongside the Firenze and Radiance, and she is in excellent condition. Number 6, Carnival Vista. The original Vista-class ship, and she is the one that started it all. When the Carnival Vista launched in 2016, it was the first completely new ship design Carnival had introduced since 2009, 7 years. And she blew people away. The Vista introduced the Sky Ride, the craft brewery, the expanded outdoor spaces, the Havana area. Everything that made the Vista-class iconic started right here. She is 10 years old now, but she has aged beautifully, and she is still one of the best ships in the fleet. Number 5, Carnival Radiance. Now here's a ship with a fascinating story. The Carnival Radiance was a major refurbishment. She had an absolutely massive overhaul and came out feeling like a nearly new ship. She joined the West Coast fleet out of Long Beach and immediately became one of the fan favorites. She has the full modern Carnival dining lineup, she is well maintained, and she is part of that strong Long Beach trio with Panorama and Firenze. Cruisers who sail her consistently rave about her. The top 4 on this list are all in a class of their own, literally. The Excel class is Carnival's crown jewel. These ships are enormous, they are futuristic, and they are unlike anything else sailing under the Carnival flag. Let me break them down. Number 4, Carnival Jubilee. The Jubilee is the newest XL-class ship and she home ports in Galveston, Texas. And I want to talk about what the XL-class means for a second before we rank these. Every XL ship is divided into 6 themed zones. Neighborhoods on the ship. Grand Central is the main atrium zone. Summer Landing is the outdoor zone. Lido is your classic pool zone. And then you get themed zones that change ship to ship. The Jubilee has 2 new zones that debuted on her. Studio 724, which is this incredible music-inspired zone that spans 2 decks with real-time reactive lighting and sound, and the Festival Zone, which is an outdoor food and entertainment area. The Jubilee also has Emerald's Bistro, named 717 on this ship, the Bolt Roller Coaster, Waterworks, Fahrenheit 555 Steakhouse, and the Festival Casino, which is the largest casino in the fleet. She starts new Caribbean itineraries out of Galveston in fall 2026. She is phenomenal. Number 4 only because her 3 XL sisters are just as good, and this is a tough call. Number 3, Carnival Celebration. The Carnival Celebration was the second XL-class ship to join the fleet in 2022, and she was built to celebrate, you guessed it, Carnival's 50th anniversary. And she does it beautifully. She has a zone called the Golden Jubilee that is literally a bar filled with artifacts and reclaimed decor from historic Carnival ships. It is a love letter to 50 years of cruising history, and as a cruise fan, I find it genuinely moving. She also has Emerald's Bistro 717 for seafood, Big Chicken by Shack, the Bolt Roller Coaster, and she sails from Miami, one of the best embarkation cities in the world. The celebration is also getting some new itineraries for 2026 that extend into longer Caribbean loops. She is arguably the most complete XL-class ship. Number 3 is outstanding. The only reason she is not number 1 is because of what comes next. Number 2, Carnival Mardi Gras. The Mardi Gras, the ship that started it all for the XL class. When this ship launched in 2021, it was a genuinely historic moment for Carnival. She was the first LNG-powered ship in the entire Carnival fleet, meaning she runs on liquefied natural gas, which is significantly cleaner than traditional marine diesel. She was also home to the world's first roller coaster at sea, the Bolt, the electric go-kart coaster that runs on the top deck. When that launched, it got coverage everywhere. People who had never thought about cruising were suddenly talking about this ship. But here is what really makes Mardi Gras great. It is not just the gimmicks. The zones are incredible. The dining is excellent. Rudy's Sea Grill is one of the best specialty restaurants at sea in her price category. Big Chicken by Shack is exactly as good as you want it to be. The Mardi Gras has an energy about her, a buzzy, exciting feeling that is hard to describe until you are actually on the ship. She is based in Port Canaveral, and she is one of the most requested ships in the entire Carnival fleet for a reason. Number 1, Carnival Jubilee. The top 3 XL ships are so close that this could change depending on who you ask, but I am giving the crown to the Mardi Gras in 2026, and here is why. She is the ship that changed what we expected from Carnival. She is the original. When you are on the Mardi Gras, you feel like you are on the best ship the line has ever built, because at the time she launched, she was. The dining, the entertainment, the zones, the Bolt, the LNG engines, the sheer size and scope of this ship, it is all here, all working together, in a way that still feels fresh 5 years after her debut. If I could only sail one Carnival ship for the rest of my life, it would be the Mardi Gras. That's my answer, and I'm sticking to it. Before I wrap up, I have to give a massive honorable mention to a ship that is not in the fleet yet, but is going to shake up this entire ranking when she arrives. The Carnival Festivale is the 4th XL-class ship, and she is currently under construction at Meyer Werft in Germany. Her keel was laid in August 2025, and she is going to debut in spring 2027 with an inaugural transatlantic voyage from Southampton before settling into Port Canaveral for year-round Caribbean itineraries. She is music-themed at her core. The Studio 724 zone is built around the creative process of music, with reactive lighting, sound, and visuals. She is also getting Waterworks Ultra, the Sensation Point activity zone, and she will not have the Bolt roller coaster. Instead, she gets an expanded water park experience. She looks incredible. I cannot wait to rank her. Alright, that is every Carnival cruise ship ranked from worst to best for 2026. 29 ships, from the aging Elation all the way up to the incredible Mardi Gras at the top. A quick summary of the tiers for you. Bottom tier, Elation, Paradise, Sunrise, Sunshine, Encounter, and Adventure. Avoid if you can, but you will still have fun. Lower middle, the Spirit-class ships and a couple of the transferred Costa vessels. Genuinely solid, especially for Alaska. Upper middle, Conquest class, Dream class, and the Italian-style Venezia and Firenze. Excellent ships at great value. Top tier, Vista-class ships leading into the XL-class crown jewels. And at the top, Mardi Gras, Celebration, and Jubilee, with Festival coming in 2027 to potentially shake everything up. Now I want to know, do you agree with my rankings? Which Carnival ship is your favorite and where would you put it on this list? Drop it in the comments below. I read every single one. And if you found this video helpful, please hit that like button. It genuinely makes a huge difference for this channel. And if you have not subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? We talk about cruising every single week. I will see you in the next one. Happy sailing, everyone. I will see you on the water.